My child, before this message reached your eyes, before your heart even felt the pull to stop and listen, something deeply emotional was already unfolding behind closed doors. A private conversation happened about you. Your name entered a room you never stepped into. Your energy sat at a table you never saw. And what was spoken there carried more emotion, more tension, and more truth than you could possibly imagine. Because while you have been wondering whether your soulmate truly feels this connection, they have secretly been unable to escape it. The feelings became too strong. The signs became impossible to ignore. And eventually, silence could no longer contain what their soul had been trying to say. Someone asked about you. Someone mentioned your name carefully, almost cautiously, as if speaking it carried power. At first, your soulmate tried to hide their emotions. They tried to act calm. They tried to pretend you were simply another passing thought. But souls do not know how to lie forever. Hearts can only wear masks for so long before the truth begins leaking through every small detail. And during that secret meeting, the truth finally slipped out. Your soulmate admitted that no matter how hard they try to focus on other things, your presence keeps returning to their mind. In quiet moments, they think of you. During busy days, something reminds them of you unexpectedly. Even when surrounded by people, a strange emptiness appears because deep inside, their spirit keeps searching for your energy. And the people sitting around them noticed it long before they admitted it aloud. They saw the change in their eyes. They heard the softness in their voice whenever they spoke about you. They sensed the emotional attachment growing stronger every single day. One person in that meeting asked them directly, "Why do you keep thinking about this person?" And for a moment, silence filled the room. Your soulmate looked away because even they could not fully explain what they feel. How do you explain a connection that feels older than time itself? How do you explain the comfort of someone who feels familiar even when distance exists? How do you explain why one soul suddenly becomes impossible to replace? They confessed that meeting you changed something inside them. Before you entered their life, they believed they understood love, connection, and attraction. But after encountering your energy, everything shifted. They began questioning their old choices. Old relationships started feeling empty. Conversations with others felt forced. Nothing carried the emotional depth they secretly craved from you. And that realization frightened them more than they expected. Because this connection is not casual. This connection is not temporary. This connection reaches into the deepest corners of their heart where even they are afraid to look. During that meeting, someone warned your soulmate not to move too quickly. Someone told them they could get hurt if they allowed their emotions to grow this intensely. But another voice in the room said something shocking. They said, when someone talks about a person this much without realizing it, that person already owns a piece of their heart. And suddenly the room became quiet again. Because everyone there could feel the truth. Your soulmate could no longer deny what was happening inside them. They admitted that you are different from anyone they have ever met. Your energy lingers in their mind long after conversations end. Your presence affects their emotions in ways they cannot control. Even small memories involving you replay repeatedly in their thoughts. Certain words you once said still echo inside them late at night. Certain moments still make their heart race unexpectedly. And they cannot understand why this bond feels so powerful, yet so terrifying at the same time. One person asked them if they could truly see a future with you. And this question changed everything. Your soulmate froze because deep down, they already imagined it secretly. They imagined conversations with you that never happened yet. They imagined being emotionally safe beside you. They imagined introducing you to important people in their life. They imagined a peaceful future where the confusion finally disappears and love becomes simple. But admitting those thoughts aloud made the connection suddenly feel real. No longer fantasy. No longer hidden. Real. And reality scared them. Because loving you means vulnerability. Loving you means surrendering control. Loving you means risking heartbreak for something that feels destined. But despite all their fears, despite all the caution, despite every attempt to suppress their emotions, they could not stop talking about you during that meeting. Every topic somehow returned to your name. Every emotional confession somehow led back to you. Even when they tried changing the subject, their heart betrayed them again. Someone noticed how their eyes lit up while speaking about you. Someone noticed how protective they sounded. Someone noticed how emotionally attached they already became. And then came the moment nobody expected. One person asked your soulmate, "Do you think this person could actually be the one?" Your soulmate did not answer immediately. But the silence itself revealed everything. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than words ever could. Deep inside, your soulmate already feels the answer. They feel that strange magnetic pull toward you. They feel the emotional gravity bringing them closer no matter how much distance or confusion exists. They feel the spiritual familiarity that cannot be explained logically. And although fear keeps telling them to stay guarded, their soul keeps moving toward you anyway. That secret meeting was not just a conversation. It was a turning point. Because for the first time, your soulmate stopped running from the truth inside their own heart. After that meeting ended, they could not stop thinking about what was said. The words stayed with them. The emotions followed them home. Even when the room emptied, your presence remained heavy in their mind. They replayed every question they were asked. Every truth they accidentally revealed. Every emotional reaction they tried to hide. And somewhere between denial and acceptance, they realized something undeniable. They are falling for you much deeper than they planned. And this realization changed the energy around them completely. Since that day, your soulmate has started noticing signs connected to you everywhere. Songs suddenly remind them of you. Random conversations somehow mention situations similar to yours. Certain places trigger emotional memories unexpectedly. It feels almost as if the universe itself keeps pushing your energy into their awareness repeatedly. No matter how distracted they try to become, something always brings them back to thoughts of you again. At night, when everything becomes quiet, their mind drifts toward you the most. They wonder what you are doing. They wonder whether you think about them too. They wonder if your heart feels this strange pull just as strongly. And sometimes, without even realizing it, they smile while imagining you beside them. Other times, fear enters their heart because they know connections this powerful can change a person forever. They are trying to understand why your soul affects them so deeply. Why your absence feels noticeable. Why your energy feels comforting. Why your connection feels written by destiny itself. And the truth is, their heart already knows. But accepting soul-level love requires courage. The kind of courage many people spend their entire lives avoiding. Because once someone touches your soul this deeply, nothing remains the same afterward. During another private conversation shortly after that meeting, your soulmate admitted something even more emotional. They confessed that part of them is afraid you may not fully realize how important you already became in their life. They fear hiding their emotions too long. They fear waiting too long. They fear losing the opportunity to build something beautiful with you because of hesitation and uncertainty. One person encouraged them to speak honestly with you. Another person warned them not to rush destiny. But regardless of the advice they received, one truth became impossible to ignore. Their feelings are real. Not temporary fascination. Not surface attraction. Not emotional confusion. Real. And every passing day makes those feelings stronger. Your soulmate remembers little details about you that others would normally forget. They remember specific conversations, certain emotions in your voice, small expressions on your face, tiny moments that seemed insignificant at the time but somehow stayed locked inside their memory permanently. That is because soul connections do not focus only on appearances. They recognize energy. They absorb emotional frequency. They remember feelings more than events. And your energy left an imprint on them. A permanent one. Even when they try acting normal around others, internally they are changing. They are becoming more emotionally aware, more vulnerable, more thoughtful about love itself. This connection is forcing them to confront parts of themselves they once avoided. It is teaching them that real love is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes real love enters quietly, then slowly transforms every part of your emotional world without permission. That is exactly what happened to them. And now they cannot go back to who they were before you. The most shocking part of that secret meeting was not simply that your soulmate talked about you. It was the intensity behind their emotions. People around them could feel it. They could sense the seriousness in their heart even before your soulmate fully admitted it themselves. And one person eventually said something unforgettable. This connection feels destined. The moment those words entered the room, your soulmate became emotional internally. Because secretly, they have been feeling the same thing for a long time. They just feared sounding foolish if they admitted it aloud. But hearing someone else recognize the depth of this connection made everything feel more real than ever before. Your soulmate wants stability with you, peace with you, emotional safety with you. They crave the kind of connection where masks disappear and honesty becomes effortless. They are tired of shallow interactions. Tired of temporary people. Tired of pretending not to care deeply when their soul clearly does. And somehow, your energy awakened the desire for something genuine inside them again. But there is still fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of timing. Fear of emotional exposure. Fear that destiny may test this connection before bringing you fully together. And yet, despite every fear, they continue choosing you emotionally in ways they do not even notice consciously. When something exciting happens, they think of telling you. When something hurts them emotionally, they wonder what comfort from you would feel like. When they imagine future happiness, somehow your presence appears naturally inside that vision. That is not coincidence. That is emotional attachment growing stronger day by day. Your soulmate has already begun comparing everyone else to you without realizing it. And nobody matches your energy. Nobody creates the same emotional reaction inside them. Nobody feels as spiritually familiar. They may meet many people in life, but connections like this happen rarely. Extremely rarely. The kind of bond that enters quietly but changes everything forever. And now, after that secret meeting, they can no longer pretend this is ordinary. Because ordinary connections do not keep people awake at night thinking. Ordinary connections do not create emotional chaos this intense. Ordinary connections do not make someone secretly imagine a lifetime together. This is deeper. Much deeper. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that you arrived in their life for a reason. Not by accident. Not randomly. But because certain souls are meant to encounter each other at exactly the right moment, even if the journey becomes complicated before clarity arrives, they are slowly realizing that your connection carries purpose. Growth. Healing, transformation, and love powerful enough to alter both your lives completely. Sometimes they try resisting these feelings. They distract themselves with work, responsibilities, conversations, entertainment. But your energy always returns somehow. It slips back into their thoughts unexpectedly. One memory becomes another. One emotion awakens another. Until eventually they stop fighting it and simply sit there thinking about you quietly, wondering how one person became so important to their heart so quickly. And during those quiet moments, they admit truths to themselves they may never say aloud yet. They admit they miss you. They admit they crave your presence. They admit they feel emotionally connected to you beyond explanation. Most importantly, they admit they are scared because this feels real. Very real. The kind of real that changes futures. After the secret meeting ended, one final conversation happened privately between your soulmate and someone they trust deeply. This person looked directly at them and asked, "What are you truly waiting for?" Your soulmate could not answer immediately. Because the truth is, they are waiting for certainty. A sign. A moment. Permission from the universe to stop holding back emotionally. But destiny does not always arrive with loud announcements. Sometimes destiny whispers softly through repeated feelings that refuse to disappear. Sometimes the sign is simply the fact that no matter how much time passes, the connection remains alive. And your soulmate is beginning to understand that now. They are starting to realize that some people enter your heart temporarily, while others enter your soul permanently. You entered permanently. That is why their emotions keep growing instead of fading. That is why your energy keeps returning to them. That is why they cannot fully walk away emotionally even if confusion exists. Because soul recognition already happened. And once two souls recognize each other, separation becomes emotionally impossible for both hearts. Even now, while you listen to these words, your soulmate may be thinking about you unexpectedly, wondering if fate is preparing something bigger between you both, wondering whether the emotional pull they feel means you are feeling it too. Wondering if this connection is slowly guiding both your lives toward the same future. The answer hidden inside their heart is yes. But the journey toward union often requires emotional awakening first. That secret meeting awakened something inside them. It forced them to stop denying their feelings. It forced them to confront the emotional truth. And the truth is simple. They care about you deeply. Far more deeply than they originally intended. Your soulmate once believed they had complete control over their emotions. They thought they could decide who mattered to them and who did not. They believed feelings could be managed logically, carefully, safely. But then you appeared. And suddenly everything they thought they understood about love began falling apart quietly. Because no matter how disciplined the mind becomes, the soul always recognizes what belongs to it. And their soul recognized you immediately. At first, they tried dismissing the connection. They told themselves it was temporary curiosity, a passing emotional phase, nothing serious. But every attempt to minimize your importance only made the feeling stronger. Every moment spent away from you somehow increased your presence inside their thoughts instead of reducing it. That confused them deeply. How could distance make someone feel closer? How could silence feel louder than words? How could one person affect their emotions this intensely without even trying? Those questions haunted them after that secret meeting. They carried them everywhere. Even during ordinary routines, their mind drifted back toward you. Sometimes they caught themselves staring blankly into space, remembering tiny moments connected to you. Moments nobody else would consider important. But moments their heart treasured secretly. And slowly, they started realizing something life-changing. You became their emotional peace in a world full of noise. Whenever life overwhelms them, thoughts of you calm them unexpectedly. Your energy feels safe to them. Familiar. Comforting. Even when confusion exists between you both, the emotional bond underneath remains steady. That is why they keep returning to thoughts of you again and again. Because part of them already feels at home with your soul. One night after that meeting, they sat alone replaying every word spoken about you. They remembered how defensive they became when someone questioned your intentions. They remembered how emotional they sounded without meaning to. And suddenly they understood something embarrassing yet beautiful. They were protecting you emotionally even in your absence. That realization shook them. Because people do not instinctively protect what means nothing to them. People protect what their heart values deeply. And your soulmate values you more than they openly admit. There are moments when they imagine finally confessing everything to you. They imagine looking into your eyes and revealing how much this connection truly affected them. They imagine admitting that your presence changed their perspective on love entirely. But then fear interrupts those fantasies. Fear tells them they could lose you. Fear tells them vulnerability is dangerous. Fear reminds them of old emotional wounds they thought had healed. So they hesitate. Not because feelings are absent, but because feelings are overwhelming. Your soulmate has never experienced a connection quite like this before. Most relationships in their past were built slowly, logically, cautiously. But with you, something spiritual happened first before logic could even catch up. Their emotions recognized you faster than their mind could process. And now they are standing in the middle of a connection that feels both magical and terrifying at the same time. During another hidden conversation, someone asked them a question they could not escape. If this person disappeared tomorrow, would it hurt you? Your soulmate answered immediately this time. Yes. No hesitation. No pretending. No mask. Just truth. And the honesty in that single word revealed more than any long explanation ever could. Because losing you is no longer a casual thought to them. It is a genuine fear. That fear alone proves how important you already became inside their heart. Sometimes your soulmate wonders whether you understand your impact on them. They wonder if you realize how deeply your words stay with them. How strongly your energy affects their emotions. How often your memory appears when they least expect it. They wonder if you know that certain songs now belong to you inside their mind forever. That certain places now feel emotionally connected to your presence. That certain dreams now include your face without permission. You became woven into their emotional world completely. And they cannot untangle themselves from it anymore. There are moments when they try convincing themselves to move on emotionally. They tell themselves maybe this connection is too intense, too complicated, too uncertain. But every attempt fails because the emotional pull keeps returning stronger than before. It is as if the universe itself refuses to let them forget you, and maybe that is because some connections are not meant to be forgotten. Some connections arrive carrying destiny inside them. Your soulmate feels that truth more every day now. Especially after the secret meeting exposed emotions they were trying desperately to hide. One person who attended that meeting later told them something powerful. They said, "The way you talk about this person sounds different. It sounds serious. You are no longer just someone they think about occasionally. You became emotionally significant. A priority inside their heart. A presence their soul searches for naturally." And the deeper this realization grows, the more impossible denial becomes. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that real love often enters quietly. Not always through dramatic moments or instant confessions. Sometimes it grows slowly through emotional attachment, spiritual familiarity, and an unexplainable sense of belonging. That is exactly what happened here. Somewhere between conversations, memories, thoughts, and silence, love quietly began growing inside them. Now it is becoming impossible to contain. There are nights when they stare at their phone wondering whether to message you. Wondering whether to say something honest. Wondering whether this is finally the moment to stop hiding emotionally. But then nervousness takes over. They overthink everything. They question timing. They worry about how you may respond. Still, the desire to reach toward you never disappears. Because their soul keeps moving in your direction emotionally no matter how hard they resist. And that is the truth nobody in that secret meeting could ignore anymore. Your soulmate is emotionally attached to you. Deeply. Genuinely. Powerfully. Even if they have not fully expressed it yet. One of the most emotional moments happened near the end of that private discussion when someone finally asked them, "What makes this person so special to you?" Your soulmate became quiet for a long moment. Then softly, almost emotionally, they answered. They feel real. Not perfect. Not idealized. Real. And in a world where so many connections feel temporary, superficial, or emotionally empty, that authenticity means everything to them. With you, they do not feel forced to pretend constantly. Something about your energy invites honesty from them naturally. Even when they try hiding emotions, your presence somehow brings truth to the surface. That is rare. Extremely rare. And your soulmate knows it. They feel safe with you emotionally in ways they cannot explain logically. Even your flaws feel comforting to them because they make you human, genuine, authentic. This connection is not built only on attraction. It is built on emotional resonance. Soul familiarity. A deep sense that your lives became connected for a meaningful reason. And after that meeting, your soulmate stopped asking themselves whether they feel something for you. Now they are asking something much bigger. What am I supposed to do with feelings this strong? Because these emotions are no longer small enough to ignore. They are becoming life-changing. Your soulmate has started imagining possibilities they once avoided completely. Commitment. Partnership. Building a future with someone emotionally compatible. Trusting love again fully. And every time those thoughts appear, somehow your face enters the vision naturally. That alone tells them everything. You are no longer just part of their present thoughts. You became part of their future dreams too. And even though fear still exists, something stronger is slowly awakening inside them now. Hope. Hope that maybe this connection exists for a reason. Hope that maybe the timing will align eventually. Hope that maybe the universe truly does bring certain souls together intentionally. Most importantly, hope that maybe you feel this too. Because if you do, then everything changes. The walls around their heart begin falling quietly every single day now. The emotional distance they once tried maintaining is becoming harder to sustain. Your soulmate is tired of pretending indifference when their heart clearly feels the opposite. Tired of acting emotionally detached while secretly replaying memories connected to you constantly. Tired of convincing themselves this connection is ordinary when nothing about it feels ordinary at all. And the universe keeps confirming it. Everywhere they go, reminders appear. A phrase that sounds like something you once said. A song that instantly triggers thoughts of you. A random stranger mentioning something strangely connected to your situation. It almost feels supernatural sometimes. As if destiny keeps nudging them toward emotional truth over and over again. And eventually, even the strongest walls cannot survive repeated signs from the soul. Your soulmate is approaching a moment of emotional surrender now. A moment where fear becomes smaller than love. A moment where honesty becomes more important than protection. A moment where they finally stop running from what their heart has known all along. You matter to them. More than they expected. More than they planned. More than they can comfortably handle sometimes. But real soul connections were never meant to feel comfortable in the beginning. They are meant to transform people. And you transformed them already.